everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ideally, though.
Ideally, though.
I'm your host, Erica, and with me is my hubby, my bestie, my butter squad.
Here, what up?
Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy weekend to everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
We're almost at the end of the summer, it feels like.
Oh, yes.
Once you get to the end of August, that's when you're like, okay, the summer's about to end.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily feel like it for me, especially because it stays relatively warm weather-wise
Mhm.
out here for a very long time.
Yeah, but you know what? It's crazy. This summer, it's cooling down faster.
You think so?
Yeah, it's now only in the 90s now.
Huh.
It has breeze.
I've been inside a few days, so
Yeah. You're a basement dweller.
I've become a
So-
dungeon dweller for sure.
So yeah, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a cold winter. You know what I'm saying? So, it's the kids going back to school.
Yeah.
Our last one had a birthday.
Okay, yeah, it's the routine of the things that come back that reminds you that summer is ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, typically I would say the end of September is really where the summer tends to end. But once the kids start going back to school, it's like that's when the summer is ending for me.
Incoming.
Yeah, I'm like, oh gosh. And that's when I need to kind of wind down a little bit.
Mhm.
And I saw this thing on the internet that said what hyper specific content
Mhm.
like actually helps you wind down. And I had to think about it. I'm like, the top number one thing that helps me wind down is those black and white
Blackhead
heads.
videos.
Yeah.
Yes, blackhead videos help you wind down.
That the hydraulics smasher for like Legos and
Yeah,
candles.
and then you do. What was the one that I was talking about the other day? Wasn't it like when they shave soap?
Soap, yeah. I watch the shave soap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I have. Carpet cleaning is something I've been watching
Okay, that's
lately.
really.
Yeah.
You know what mine is? My number one is honestly, it's animal chiropractors.
I know you've been getting into that lately, and I'm like, you want to see them animals in shock.
I don't know what it is, but to see a horse in its most relaxed state makes me feel relaxed for some
You
reason.
know what? Speaking of horses, I also like the horse hoof cleaning.
Okay, I do
When they
that too.
take I
Okay,
love
that's what I
that.
do.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
So that's kind of like my hyper
Ooh,
specific content.
okay, so let me ask then, what's one that you don't like? Like if you see it, you're definitely hitting like a thumbs down or you're scrolling past it. I'll tell you what mine is real quick.
Okay.
Pimple popping. I can't do those.
I was just about to say that. Like, there's a difference
Ah.
between pimples and blackheads.
Mhm.
Because when you start like breaking the skin and blood and pus like that,
Yeah.
I don't like to watch them nasty when motherfuckers' faces is red and oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
I'm more
yeah.
of a blackhead, whitehead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do the pimple popping thing, but I've watched many of people woodwork,
Okay.
the horse and like animal chiropractors and human. I'll do that. Those are my mains. Those are the ones I go.
I also watch the when people are cleaning lawns that haven't been like maintained
Oh my
in like
God.
years. That's me.
Okay, so like my algorithm last week or so has been giving me a few of those. and I've been
Really?
falling into that too.
Yeah, so I don't know what you guys' hyper
That explains
specific
it.
content, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys can relate to us
Oh,
because
for sure.
I don't know what it is, but you always can catch me watching a blackhead video.
Oh, all the time.
Always.
And you know what's really funny? I'll sit there and I'll be like, "How does that do it for you?" But then, like, you'll come in here and see me like watching one of those chiropractors do something to a horse, and you'd be like, "I don't get it." So
Yeah, like I like what I mean. I wouldn't mind watching chiropractor, but yeah, I don't know. I picked it up last year, I think,
Mhm.
with the blackheads, and I was just couldn't let it go. Like I'll be like dinner time, and I'm like, let me just watch a couple more, minutes of this. Like it draws me in.
It does. It
Yeah.
does call for you for something from time to time.
Earlier this week we got the DNC, the Democrat
Oh,
National
yeah.
Convention.
That's right. We did.
I thought that thing was litty.
I heard that like Common was there and like
I
a
know,
whole
like,
bunch of other people.
Maxine Waters, Lil Jon was in the beginning of it.
That's fire.
Who else? Gavin Newsom was there. They did their speeches.
That's your guy.
Patti LaBelle sang.
That's cool.
Yeah, she sang. So that was about a good 15 minutes of her singing.
I mean, you got Common and all those people. Then you had Meg the Stallion for like that, like what's it called? Or a few weeks ago
Yeah.
for Kamala. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi was there. Bill and Hillary Clinton, they did small speeches.
Obama too, right? If I'm not, the Obamas, right?
Man, the
Yeah.
Obamas did their speeches, and I just loved him so much. Michelle was like, what did she say? I wrote it down. She was like, who's gonna tell Trump that the job he's seeking might just be a black job? I
Ah, that's a
say,
good way to
yes,
flip that.
sister.
That's a good way to flip that. I like that.
I
I
like,
like
cause
that.
you know Trump is kind of known for trying to be sassy and taking digs at looks and what your stance is. So
Yeah.
I just love that y'all forgot about the Obamas. Y'all forgot
They've
how
always
witty
been
they
pretty
are.
witty. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. They've always been pretty witty.
and Obama, he said, we don't need 4 more years of the chaos. He was like, we've seen this movie before, and the sequel is usually worse.
Ah, that's
So
also very good too.
yeah, I love
I
that.
like it.
He's talking about how he always is obsessed. Trump is obsessed with like sizes, and he was doing the hand movements like Trump. And I was like, oh my god, I miss you, President, Father, Daddy. I miss Obama. I'm
That's
just looking
great.
at him. I was like, I miss you, sir.
Yeah, you kind of wish like some presidencies were like the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court was like the presidency at times. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Where you'd be like, hey, look,
let's get these motherfuckers
get these
out
motherfuckers out, but
and
this
let's keep
guy,
this one.
I want to keep this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
it's not far fetched that we can get Kamala Harris as president. There's other countries that have a woman as president.
Yeah,
So,
I
I
totally
mean, it's
believe it.
not far. I think when Hillary Clinton was trying to run and she was going against Trump,
She's kind of been just an enemy of the state for a
yeah,
while.
I think, but a lot of people are like, oh, she's a woman. I'm like, are we like, what year, what century are we in,
Look,
you guys?
I don't
That wasn't
even.
that far ago.
That's so far away of a thought for me that I wouldn't even think that way. In my eyes, she was so much of an enemy of the state and of the people in certain people in certain realms.
Emails and stuff was
Yeah,
kind of
with like especially with all
shady.
that shit, the emails and shit. So
Hmm.
like that is why she didn't get voted for. If it was genuinely if the reason why you didn't vote for Hillary was because of the fact that you didn't believe in her because she was a woman, you gotta be utter just garbage. You
Yeah,
know what
there's
I
some
mean?
people who are very misogynistic
That
about
shit's
it.
gross, dude. I don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't fucking get it.
I was thinking when the Obamas did their speeches, I was like, I bet you last night y'all was practicing with each other and then y'all was just dapping each other like, yeah, that's a good one.
They laughing together for
Yeah.
show in there, yeah, with like Marvin Gaye and shit playing in the background.
Oh my goodness. And when Little John came out, he had them chanting in the crowd like, "We won't go back." It was something
Mm.
like that. And they had Not Like Us playing in the background when Gavin Newman was kind of
Oh, I like it.
speaking.
I like it.
Yeah. So I was like, this was litty. This was gave a concert vibe. Like, okay.
Yeah. Lately I've seen Trump on the what was it? What's that one dude's name? Neo or not? Theo, excuse me. Theo Vaughn's podcast. He was on there. Bernie Sanders was on there recently. There's been a
Yeah.
lot of like, it's kicking up this year. This year's gonna be a
It
crazy one.
it feels like when Obama first tried to become president, it felt like
Exactly.
I think people, especially the younger ones, are starting to open their eyes. Like, you guys, do we really want to go through this again? Like,
Yeah.
really? Like, fuck feeling like, because Republicans are a little bit more conservative.
Hmm.
And you're like, no, no one should get abortion and all that. But think about fuck that. Think about chaos and
Yeah.
division.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
think if you're a person of color, you gotta think about that.
You do. Um, in the midst of in staying in the realms of politics, if you don't mind.
Hmm.
I didn't share too many of my thoughts about Tim Walz, but as you know, we've kind of made up our minds at this point that Kamala and Walz are the best candidates in our eyes at this
Oh my
point.
god, he's like the Midwestern daddy that we all needed.
And like I said last week, it's more like he to me he feels just like an everyday kind of dude.
Hmm.
I know that there's issues with Democrats wars and all that other bullshit, but it is one of those situations where you're picking the lesser of both evils or whatever.
Hmm.
I just feel like as a man who continuously tends to say it's none of my damn business, that rings out to me. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I only care what's happening at home.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
we always are sticking our nose in other people's business. This is how Vietnam came about.
Yeah.
Why?
And
Let's bring them
he
home.
really truly is ringing some bells for me in so many ways with his thoughts about school and education and things like that. I want my kids to have the best education as possible
Yeah,
because I believe that like as corny as it is, knowledge is true power. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? It's got me places.
And he understands that because he used to be a school teacher. He
Exactly.
coached, I think, football for the
Yeah.
kids. He did pass like free breakfast and lunch, and he was like, "Oh, the big bad guy who's feeding the kids and helping them learn."
Yeah.
He's so witty as well.
And I think he's gonna have a good sparring with JD
Oh, I'm
Vance.
gonna watch that because he's gonna get him intellectually.
It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've ever felt like I needed to pay attention to
Mm-hmm.
the debates. This year, I feel like I'm going to, but I really wanted to get my thoughts off about like Tim Walz because I didn't get the chance to do last week because I
Yeah.
wanted to save it for this week, and I'm really hope he's bringing some light into my eyes. Like I
Yeah.
might have a little more hope in humanity than I used to the other day. You know
Yeah,
what I
absolutely. Like
mean?
besides the free breakfast and lunch, he's legalized recreational marijuana.
Oh my man,
He's he passed universal background checks for guns.
I
Um,
respect that.
Free tuition for low income Minnesotans.
See, can we get that just across the board for like our kids to just be able to go to school and make better of themselves? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And he's expanded protection across the LGBTQ community as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
See, you support the daughter of mine. I gotta give you my vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Again, October is when him and JD Vance are supposed to debate, and
Yeah.
then next month, in a couple weeks, we get Kamala and Trump. And I just hope she doesn't get brung into the
We gonna
swept into
review
the
that one.
mess. We'll have to see that.
We gonna review
Yeah, we
that.
have to see that. Now, on lighter news, Monster. So I hope you remember the Dahmer movie or series we had on Netflix
Oh, the
with Evan
monster
Peters.
series on
Yeah,
Netflix. Correct. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
yeah. So Evan Peters played Dahmer.
Yeah.
Now they are bringing in season 2. I didn't know this was going to be a whole series type of thing where
Huh.
there's going to have multiple seasons.
Interesting. Okay.
But season 2 is going to follow the Lyle and Eric Menendez story.
Oh, that'll be
That's
cool.
gonna be good. They even gave a
That's gonna
little
be good.
snippet of it, just a
Hmm.
little bit of them just coming in with guns. You couldn't see faces or anything. It was like you just seeing the camera from the back. But that comes out September 19th. Ooh, it's gonna be
Ooh, that's
good.
coming up close. Stay
Yeah,
tuned for the review of that one. We
yeah.
gotta definitely review that
And
one.
you know, we were born that same year
Yeah.
that everything went down. So I mean, it's good to see it from that side. You know, like okay, what really happened? Because you know, if you were of age, then you probably were able to follow it. But
I
you
mean,
know, we
just
weren't.
over the years,
You
we've
know.
always heard and seen references and all those
Hmm.
things, and then after a while with the internet, you know what I mean. You gauge a bit of an understanding about what's going on. Like, I really want to know whether or not the picture of them in the basketball
At the boss,
card at the
yeah,
basketball
game.
game
Hmm.
is gonna come up.
I think it will.
It's so interesting to me.
You
That's
know,
cool.
but you know that's us though. We
Yeah.
we are '90s babies, but
Right.
we really do our research on stuff. People are like, how did you know that? Because I watch TV, I read, I find out things that are interesting to
Yeah, I
me.
have an opinion and I
Yeah,
critically think.
you know, people are talking about how do you know this about Dahmer? How do you know? Because like when things like come across my feed or just when I
Yeah.
was younger, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this
I'm,
little doc.
I'm gonna
What is
read
this
it. I'm
about?
interested and I'm open. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited. Again, Monster season 2 is gonna be on Netflix on September 19th.
That's gonna be sick. I'm
Ooh,
excited.
it's gonna be it's right before Halloween too.
Yeah.
So if you want to binge it, it's probably gonna be eight
You think it's gonna be a
episodes.
series or a show? It is gonna be a series, right?
I mean, I guess so. Which one is? What's the
I
difference?
don't know. I mean, whether or not it's gonna be like a movie or some sort or like a limited edition, limited series where it's like hour and a half each for 3 episodes. You know what
Well,
I mean?
they're gonna do the same thing they did with Dahmer. So you're probably gonna get the 6 to 8 episodes.
Oh, that's gonna last in through October anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're
Beautiful.
gonna we're gonna be allowed to binge it because that's the type of series they allow you to binge on
Oh, okay.
Netflix.
We'll see.
Um,
I've heard rumors of them going moving back from
so
away
you
from
think they
that.
might do just half and half? I don't think for this they should do that. It's
Or
not like
weekly. I've heard
Squid
weekly. I've
Games.
heard weekly releases coming up soon.
That's just like the Korean shit. They
Yeah,
always do weekly stuff.
yeah.
So I mean, it depends. I mean, I want to binge it, but if it can go until the end of
We
October,
we
then great.
record weekly. I would love to review some.
Okay,
You're right.
but you know what? This whole month has been crazy. So much news going on,
Yeah.
and a couple of days ago we got just some information about Sexy Red's new lip gloss line.
Oy.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm just gonna read off. You already know because you've heard it, you've seen it. But for
Yeah.
those who don't follow, Sexy Red, you know, she that rapper, she that ghetto girl that you know a lot of people praise.
It's depressing.
But she has a new lip gloss line. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to find it at Walmart. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be mean.
It's probably going to be inexpensive to say the
I
least.
think so because I think she caters to the hood girls,
Exactly.
and there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, when I read this off, I'm gonna tell you why I got like mixed feelings about it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have booty hole brown. You guys want some booty hole brown lip gloss?
Oh Lord.
Pussy hole pink.
Okay.
That might be the one I might get. I'm just
Nope.
like, gonorrhea. Who getting it?
Who getting
Now,
this is
is that
crazy,
like a
bro?
green color? And when would you wear a green lip gloss?
Oh God, it just sounds so
I
gross.
don't know. Sex on my period. Y'all want some sex on my period? Yellow discharge. Which girl is getting a yellow discharge so she can be like sexy red? And the last one is nut, like straight nut.
Oy.
So okay, mixed reviews because I like sexy red because she does cater to the girls who are the ghetto girls, but shit getting too far. Shit's going too goddamn far. I'm not buying no lip gloss called gonorrhea, and if it's supposed to look like it, go to hell.
Okay. I have an issue with the fact that there's so much perpetuation of stereotypes inside of what she has done since she's blown up.
Hmm.
Like this doesn't surprise me. It's like a of course sexy red would do some shit like this. And
Yeah,
I don't like that I feel that way about her.
yeah, because it's like it's the stereotype that ghetto people are just like nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we
doing too
just
much.
like niggas that like are ghetto and we just come built
We
in with
come
that
from
type
the
of shit. It
ghetto.
just
We just
right.
nasty.
It's
That's what it comes off
it
like.
feels gross. And
Hmm.
I mean, I remember lip glosses and certain types of things becoming a big thing in like in high school for certain girls and shit like
We
that.
had to like Dr. Pepper lip gloss and
I don't want my girl walking around with the gonorrhea on the mouth.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit's crazy to me.
So it's just like, and then are they gonna? They're the colors.
Exactly.
So I'm like, who really? Everybody's usually, I mean, the older girls who really know how to do it. We wearing the nudes and the reds and the regular colors. No one's wearing discharge yellow lip gloss.
It's 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 a bit insulting to for a culture to
It
like
is.
embrace. I get the niche. I
Mm-hmm.
understand it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a sucker for braids and long nails and all not the door knocker earrings and shit. I'm a sucker.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But the same degree, what you are perpetuating is negativity.
Yeah.
And we've got to like she's got to take a step back in one way, shape, or form, and like want to grow a little bit and know that this shit ain't gonna stand for the longest.
Yeah.
It
Is this
ain't.
gonna be your whole niche? Like this
Yeah,
is gonna be your image? Like that's what you
because
going
even
to?
hoes grow up.
Yeah. I mean, Sexy Red made it cool to be like this, but it's not a long lasting thing. And whoever's creating your lip glosses, do you think these people are gonna buy it? No,
Right,
they're not.
right,
And it's not
exactly.
to me. Do you think it's gonna sell? I don't think so. Not like that.
I you know what, and this
Not
is
like
where
that.
we're gonna disagree because I think that motherfucker's gonna sell like hotcakes for the gimmick, for the clout, and because of the time we're in.
I think the younger girls,
Yeah,
the ones under 30 may get the lip
she gonna
gloss,
sell 'em.
and it's gonna be cheaper. She ain't selling no lip gloss for
Exactly.
no $30.
And you can't and if it's getting sold in Walmart, oh that's it. That's a wrap. She's a millionaire and she's never gonna stop.
Yeah,
And it that then we just become the niggas that's just complaining about it, at the
yeah.
end of the day.
I'm just saying, like, when did being a lady stop? Like, like stop
Right.
go out of style.
Right.
And when I say that, it's just like you can dress the way you want, you can talk the way you want, but it's just like some of the stuff, like her and what's her name, Sukiana and stuff. Some of
Like
that stuff, I'd be like, girl, like I don't want to hear that shit. Like
yeah.
eating your man booty hole. Like I don't want
All these
to.
peoples are, Zeus bound. That's what
Yeah, that's what it's given,
Zeus
very
bound, bro.
much. And who's doing this? It's a whole black man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I don't know. I thought that um, reality TV was gonna die, and then it did a little bit, and then it came back with just straight fighting. And I'm like, I wasn't watching straight fighting growing up. It was the real world. It was the road rules. We had.
What happened to the challenges?
I'm just saying a little bit of that. Who else had a TV show? I remember Tia and Tamara having their own reality TV show. I
I
don't
mean, it showed
know.
like their actual lives and
Yeah, the
things, like
Braxtons.
people. It was to a degree. Reality nowadays feels less reality than it did before.
It's just straight just fighting. Like Flavor of Love. Did they have a little fighting? Yes, but it was like very much like tempered. It was just
Yeah,
very like
it had
controlled.
character. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And a bit more dignity,
Yeah.
it seems.
I mean, do I watch Ratchet TV? Yeah, I do,
Who
but
doesn't?
at this point, I think it's been a month since I watched some Ratchet TV, aka Zeus, and I'm just like, is this all I'm gonna be seeing? Like, we just want to,
Violence sells.
yeah.
You'll never get
But
that
who's
past
doing
it.
this? Just black girls,
Well,
black
true,
people.
true. And we're gonna profit off it for our own people. If we can't pay, $40 extra for some pair of shoes, but we'll buy Zeus. Ain't that some bullshit?
Oh gosh.
Go ahead.
Speaking of some more hot mess or mixed feelings is the Carisha and Saucy Santana interview.
Oh right.
Yeah, now I had mixed reviews about this interview. A, it
Okay.
was only 33 minutes long, and I was like, girl, you could have made that a little bit of an hour. She does talk about her relationship with Diddy and her not being with the man that they say he is. Like, she said she got a different version of Diddy.
Mm.
She said he saw a talent in me that not beyond music. And she was kind of praising him, and she was like, she said, she was like, I met him when everybody else in the world was celebrating him, when he was getting like his lifetime achievement award and stuff, and I don't know why I'm getting criticized when I was just celebrating him like everybody else.
Mm.
And I get that, but I don't think he was just this crazy sweet guy. And this was just the last version of him.
No.
I think that you saw some shit, but it didn't affect you personally. It affected other bitches and other people, and you was like, as long as it's not done to me, then I don't have a problem with it.
I all I'm hearing in the middle of this, especially 'cause she saw or he saw a talent in me, is it was
The
in the
big
back
me.
of her throat. Like that's where the
Oh
talent
my
was, and
gosh.
everything else is he was that guy. I don't think Diddy's that big of a change if she's or we've only heard this about him. If we've
Yeah,
only heard this is his character over the last I don't know how many years. And
exactly.
then the video comes out, he has not been that different. I think
He's
it's more
always
of
been
a
like that.
that whole interview felt like she was trying just to save her face and his.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
And
I was with him, but
Saucy Santana,
hmm
whatever, was just existing
he
there.
was asking really good questions. But they're besties, so I think he was definitely
But
trying
they
to.
okay, you say they were at you were asking good questions. I feel more or less like it was like fielded. Like they wrote them for
Oh
him.
yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't feel anything for that. That's why I say he was just there. He was just a soundboard.
And this is also why I said I had mixed reviews. Yes, I understand that you may say, and this could be that you got a different Diddy. He wasn't like what people said.
Hmm.
But then there's tweets from 2022 where you're arguing, going back and forth with his ex, saying, "If I wanted you to eat my box, I would tell Diddy, and he'll make you get on your knees."
Yeah.
So what is that? That's
That doesn't sound like
very
a different Diddy to me.
yeah. That sounds like he be putting people in check,
And it
and you
sounds like
know
you
that.
were complicit in it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't
And there's
know.
documents saying that she directed Traffic.
So
So
right,
like,
right, good one.
so
I just feel like maybe that whole thing was just like because he's undergoing investigations and cases. That was more like a moment that they're gonna use in evidence later if she has the testimony for some shit. I feel
yeah.
like that's all it feels like to me.
It also felt like she was more than not only her relationship with him, because I think she was like, I do have to break away because this is gonna really fuck me up,
Yeah, yeah,
but also her relationship with JT.
true.
So I think with their relationship, it sounded like a lot of people were in their ears. Maybe Lil Uzi Vert because he really didn't fuck with Carisha.
Hmm.
Carisha. Maybe Diddy, Saucy Santana. Maybe these are people that was maybe in Carisha's head, ear. And I think there's a little bit of some like um, jealousy that maybe JT is able to put out music and your label is telling you that you ain't ready, you ain't grown as a person or as an artist, and you can't put out no music.
And to be fair, JT's album that came out within the last like 2 weeks, I've listened to it and it's good.
They're better. I'm gonna be honest. They're better apart.
They're better apart.
Yeah,
They're
and maybe
better
just
apart.
JT.
And I think JT's kind of the exception to that rule, and
Hmm.
that's the reason for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I understand she was saying like she didn't tell me about her doing the solo project. Like I don't know why she didn't say anything,
Hmm.
but I don't know. Like what is your relationship? How much do y'all communicate for her to say, you know what, I want to say something, but you are in a group. So same thing as like being an outcast.
Right.
You know, you do need to tell your person like, hey, I think I want to do some solo music, and they're supposed to be happy for you,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have like a album that you're supposed to put out with you two. Then I get it being like, hold on, girl, we got to finish this. But I don't know how much you guys communicate. We haven't seen y'all together, and I feel like years.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, they're better apart, or at least JT is.
Yeah, JT's a little better
A
apart.
lot better.
I would love to see what she would do in like maybe acting, because Carisha, I'm sorry, girl, but like, where's my husband, Meech? That was that wasn't good. You know,
Oh, I
her
forgot
little
about
her
that.
little BMF little skit,
Oh God.
and I wonder too at that time when she was recording that, I was like, what did Diddy feel about that? You know, 50 Cent and him don't get along.
Jesus
So
Christ.
I mean,
That
their
was
team's
bad.
always little low key, and you know, Lil Uzi Vert, he's not a bad rapper. He's not like
You say what now?
he's not like a bad rapper
Shh.
for what his group is, where he's categorized in. He's
He's
not.
terrible. Yes.
No, okay. I'm just saying,
You said rapper. First off, what? Give
is he
me
not a
one
rapper?
singular lyric.
I can't give you that right now.
Exactly.
Listen,
Thank
I'm not here
you.
for all that. You know
Don't
what
do
I'm
it. Don't do it.
saying?
Let that bus
You're
pass.
saying all lives matter when I'm trying to say Black lives matter too.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But I'm saying this. I'm pretty sure she's probably had him listen. He's like, oh shit, like
You rap better than me.
now I get like Tyler the Creator, because he had an interview and he was like, I'm mad about these niggas, you know, being categorized as rappers, and now I
Man,
get it. I get it.
that yes.
But you can't help that you got these 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 year olds that are making it popular. You can't help that. We let them be on their own little island. But I definitely understand what Tyler the
Let
Creator's
them
saying.
keep peeing in the swimming pool. It's fine.
Cause but I feel like he probably was like, "Wow, this sounds good." I mean, I haven't heard him come out with nothing lately.
Who? Tyler?
No, I'm talking about Lil Uzi
Lil Uzi?
Vert.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Like let him sit down and be quiet and just go be with JT some damn way.
Oh my goodness.
He's not good, and a lot of that shit is just not good. And it's not me being old.
They're gonna slowly die off, though. I'm gonna be honest. They are though.
Yes,
They are slow.
and
Yeah.
they slowly
The
have
blue
been.
faces, the Krishans.
We've been seeing as of late the music industry change a lot with the removal of UMG from like TikTok and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of different corporate shifts from I mean major people at Warner, over at
They're
Universal,
letting
all
go
these
like.
different they're letting go of whole departments worth of people.
Mm-hmm.
So with us seeing that these types of changes, it's come to let us know that a lot of this popcorn music and this fast 2 minute little bitty shit
It's
and
not gonna.
all
Yeah.
and funding all these little act no,
You had a
it's
good
not.
run,
Yeah,
but we need to make some money.
hasn't been manageable.
Yeah.
It has not been manageable. And so the ones who are actually putting out works of art, actual pieces, shit that moves and it's gonna work and it's gonna sell, those ones are gonna actually be the ones that actually take forward.
And I understand, like Tyler Creator, he's like, I'm an artist. Like I'm, in a sense, whatever you would call old school rapping
Yeah.
industry wise. Like I'm putting out these 4 or 5 minute songs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really gaining my, so I get
Yeah.
it, because you can lose money where it's just like that. I think Justin Bieber went that route too. He tried to get that like poppy stuff on TikTok, and people went that way,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it was working. So I mean, if they're gonna try to eliminate that, well, you guys had a good run.
Yeah, you guys had a good run. We'll see
Yeah.
how you do later in life.
I mean, speaking of artists who may not be artists, no, I'm just saying, J Lo
Ooh.
and Ben Affleck. Well, J Lo filed for divorce after 2 years of marriage.
How happy do you think Ben is?
Ben just seemed like he's just never satisfied. I think he'd be like, Jennifer Gardner, can I come? Can I come over? Can
I
I come over?
made a mistake.
They said there is a source that says he wasn't even trying.
Mm.
Yeah, like he was just like, I'm over it. Probably that meme of him like smoking a cigarette, like, oh, like
The picture of him closing a door and being like, "Oh Jesus
yeah, I
Christ!"
have to deal
Yeah,
with this. I'm like, girl, you've been married 4 times and you've been divorced in 2 years or less. All her relations except for Mark Anthony, that was 10 years. But for me, it's probably been long because I had kids. I'm not trying to be like that, but
does this point to maybe it's a her thing?
I think so. I think that when you know you're the common denominator, same like Mark Anthony, he's been married 4 times too.
Mm.
So yeah, maybe both of y'all was the
Ah,
the
yeah,
problem. I don't know. Ben Affleck, I think this is the thing. It's the one that kind of got away, or the one that you feel like you were supposed to marry, have kids by, or whatever.
yeah,
And you finally get with him after he's had a family, you've had kids,
yeah.
and it's just not the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say don't go back. Like you got to move forward. Um, I feel like Jennifer Gardner was really good for him in a way of like nurturing, and she was low key the way he was low key,
Mm.
and they had 3 beautiful kids together. And I think in the last couple of weeks he was in Japan with her. She didn't post any pictures with him, but sources say that he was with her in Japan with the kids. I think she might have been probably promoting like Deadpool,
Ah, okay.
but she was like her dream vacation.
Ah,
So I mean, she allowed him to be there. I
a
would,
part of the dream vacation.
yeah, and I think right when they were getting a divorce, she had took him to rehab. So always thought she was America's sweetheart, and I thought she was good for him, but maybe he just wasn't good for her. You know,
Yeah.
she's like really sweet. I don't know what he needs, who would be the right match, but I feel like J Lo and him shouldn't have rushed into. They were like, we're finally together, let's just get married, like we always wanted to do. But like, what made you guys not get married in the first place?
They were. I bet it was more like a. You're single. I'm single. You just want to try this out. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, like I feel like J Lo, and I get it. Like you're a hopeless romantic. I even look back at that movie This Is Me, and I'm like, girl, what was the point of it?
Mm.
Because you're just showing like why things don't work out.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
move
yeah,
too fucking fast.
yeah.
And the problem with that, no matter who you are, is that you have kids involved.
Mm-hmm.
So we see her hanging out with his oldest, who's 18, and taking one of the sons. Like, well, how do you explain that?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that this is the first. I think this is the second relationship that he's been in after his divorce,
Right.
but it's really high profile. So like I think they tried to blend families so super fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just was like, girl, like, and she filed for divorce on their anniversary. I was like, what is going
Yeah, that's
on?
wild too.
I'm like, girl, yeah. I don't know. I just knew Ben Affleck wasn't it. I was
Mhm.
like, he always has this like he had an attitude or something. He
I
needs
don't know.
help.
I kind of feel like her lifestyle doesn't fit what I know
His
of at least Ben to be, and he's kind of more of a you know introvert kind of guy. He got outside of the hot heartthrob shit, and now he's
mhm,
like, I'm home. I want to stay at
settle
home
down.
and settle down. And
Hmm.
she's kind of just out running, doing, always constantly moving. So
Yeah.
it seems to me that it was just going to be a mismatch anyway.
And it's just crazy because he just turned 52 like 2 weeks ago,
Uh huh.
and she's 55. So I think he expected like anybody in their 50s would expect like, can you slow down? I don't want to always be dealing with
He
the
also smokes a
paparazzi.
ton of cigarettes, and she
He's
does
always like
not.
stressed out.
She's on stage constantly. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I don't know. The best thing she can do is, girl, just date for the rest of your life. Just the don't. I'm gonna be honest.
Or not.
After, if I got a divorce from you, and then I found somebody and got married to them, and I had to get a divorce, I'm not marrying again. I tried it for a second time, right? I always try something 2 times, and after that, I just need somebody like to
No,
be a
you
life
don't.
partner. I just need a life partner at that point. Like whether you stay, you leave, or whatever. It's the moving too fast, and I know from experience about moving too fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, at 55, I should already know. I should have already learned my lesson.
In theory, but I mean, J Lo clearly hasn't.
Oh, girl, you can't keep a man. God damn, who you go after next?
Probably just needs to take some time to herself.
I think
At least
so.
that's what it sounds like.
But it's like this: you're so fast with getting married, and you're fast with divorce, and like you didn't want to work nothing out, like counseling or
I don't know. It
something,
seems like she might have. She's the common denominator in a lot of
like
this
the
show.
Runaway
She
Bride.
got to work on something. There's something on the inside she might be running away from.
Yeah, she might. I would say therapy because on the movie This Is Me, I only saw snippets. She
Yeah.
was going to therapy, and Fat Joe was her therapist. You might need to get a new therapist
Uh,
if you're gonna
Let
go.
Joe be your therapist. This
It ain't
nigga's name
working.
was Joey Crack at one point. I'm good.
He ain't helping you with this. But yeah, I mean, best wishes for both of them.
Yeah.
I know they kind of been seeing each other a little bit since, I mean, before the divorce, just a little bit, but I don't know, whatever. On better news, Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed. He's gonna be getting his star on the Walk of Fame next week.
Of course, you would bring this up.
I mean,
Oh,
I think I got an invitation to come.
in your head?
I mean, I'm gonna go. It's open to the public.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, it's on the 29th.
Whose gas money you using?
Jesus's gas money.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
who I'm gonna
Hopes and
use.
prayers. That's
Ain't
good.
no hopes and prayers, nothing. But I wanted to ask you, who do you think is gonna be there besides Sylvester Stallone? Because I feel like he will be there,
I
right?
imagine everybody who at least
Like
participated in
worked,
one way, shape, or form on any of those films.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger, because they were on Predator together.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
he'll be
Bay will
there.
be there. Michael Bay Jones,
Of
Bay.
course.
But who else? I don't know. I don't really not a. I know only a few movies. Like I know the Rocky series. I know like Action Jackson, Predator, and then he was on the not the I was gonna say Billy Madison. Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, Happy
Do
Gilmore.
you think like Adam Sandler would show up?
I'd imagine so.
I'm just thinking of who is consistently because they always get people that were really good friends and you maybe consistently worked
Or
with.
within pop culture, if you did something that was big with that person.
Yeah, I
So
feel
if
like
any of that,
Sylvester Stallone.
those things, he's been a big, at least pop culture reference for forever. So I'd imagine those same types of cast members being around for
I'm
that.
happy he is getting it. I just wish that he got it when he was alive.
Yeah,
And I
of
hate that it
course, of
seems like
course, yeah.
the perception is that oh somebody has to die to get rewarded. I hate that. At least
That,
for him in his this case right here.
I mean, we're never gonna get that right. That's just human nature as it is. Artists who die, then that's when their art becomes more valuable.
Just like Nipsey Hussle. How many people for reals was listening to Nipsey Hussle before he died? In real life, motherfuckers wasn't bumping Nipsey like
He
that.
didn't
I
have
knew
to bump.
people who bumped Nipsey, but I was like people West Coast people
Yeah,
bumping Nipsey.
yeah.
But all of a sudden I was like y'all kind of fake.
Niggas from New York got the shirt
Yeah,
on
I was
and
like
shit. You
y'all
like,
fake. Y'all wasn't
whoa,
bumping
hold
Nipsey.
on, sir.
Right. This West Coast, but I was just like,
Yeah.
he died and he became big when he been trying for so
But that's
long.
how it works. That's
Yeah.
how it goes. I imagine if any of my idols, for instance, if something happened to like Hideo Kojima at any point in time, that man dies, the world will cry.
Yeah, it's like a whole parade.
Yeah, the
Like
world's
Martin,
gonna
I
cry.
don't want to say Martin Luther King. You know how they
Because
went from state to
everybody
state.
knows Metal Gear Solid in one way, shape, or form, or
Hmm.
Snake or something, and so to a degree, somebody he's known well enough to get garner the tears of the world in the
Yeah,
same manner as that. So
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Now I know you wanted to talk about some stuff on your end. You want to talk about Mr.
Yay,
Beast?
YouTube dramas.
What's going on YouTube? Because you stay on YouTube.
Yeah, I do. I really do. It's a problem.
It is. Y'all don't know.
uh, so Mr. Beast hasn't necessarily been in the best shape as of yet and late. He's gotten into a bit of controversy as it's come to the realization that a lot of his stuff is fake. And I feel like,
Fake like what?
first off, I feel like a lot of the videos, when we just can look at them on like a normal basis and go, oh, of course this was fake. But and people I feel like have been saying that for a while. You know the types of things that Mr. Beast does.
Like building houses?
I drove a train straight into a canyon. Those types of things, like
Yeah.
crazy, outlandish, whatever the
Hmm.
fucks, right? Giving away just outrageous amounts of loads
Yeah,
of
that was
money.
a big thing.
Well, it turns out that a lot of that was completely staged from audience, cast, crew, the whole production.
So, example with the giving away money, he didn't give away to like a regular person.
No, it was somebody that either worked for him or was a relative of somebody who worked for
Ain't that
him,
a bitch?
or like a partner of someone who worked for him,
So does he get his money back?
and it would be like a tax write-off kind of situation. I mean, he's done things to like that to illegal lotteries,
Oh
which has
wow.
been real crazy. Like basically doing like a signature on a T-shirt and shit, and saying if you call in now, you'll have a chance to win this T-shirt, but then never sending the T-shirt.
Why? Why? For what?
I mean, it gets more people to call in if nobody claims the T-shirt, right?
Oh my
You
gosh.
see, like it's a lot of like just evil shit, but it got down to a point where I believe the YouTube channel's name is Dogpack 404. It was a video that came out by this man, and He went down the list of things and all the stuff that had been faked, doctored, changed, referenced, and he was there for a number of months. And complete expose. Complete expose. I believe the first part is called I Work for Mr. Beast and He is a Fraud.
Wow.
And I believe the second part, because there was supposed to be upwards of three, the third part hasn't dropped yet. The second part is I Work for Mr. Beast and He's a Sociopath.
Jeez
So
Louises.
I mean, the rabbit hole has gotten deeper and deeper. Earlier this year, he had a coworker of his uh, who happened to be a trans woman be exposed for talking inappropriately with a minor.
Oh my goodness.
And this had been happening for a while. And in fact, Mr. Beast was, or Jimmy, as his name is, was actually aware of these things. And it goes further than that. Like that, the trans woman in was just a complete disgusting human being. He was doing this for a while. She, them. It was gross. The
I think
whole
we,
thing.
you know what I was thinking? I was like, he doesn't seem 100% authentic, and I know
Exactly.
somebody's gonna find some shit on him.
Yeah, there was a number of years where I would just look at the things he was doing and go, I get what he's doing, and I could see where like that's nice, but nobody does that just fully out the goodness of the heart unless they're Jesus. This guy has something to him, and I knew he had. So I felt it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can just feel those types of things. He has too much wiggle room to be and too joyful to not be in trouble
Well, you know what?
in one way, shape, or
With the
form.
Me Too movement, you would think that when you're gonna expose yourself for being like the highest YouTube streamer and
Yeah.
have all this money, that you might want to keep a clean record because things are always gonna come out about you.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, now in the aftermath of that movement, we're coming into where we don't need to band together with anybody. We're just going to study the truth, whether you believe it or not. And
Yeah.
a lot of stuff has been pointing to a lot of things being true. Dogpack 404 ended up having Jake Weedle.
We
Weedle.
don't.
And he was a one of the participants and actors, I guess you could say, in Mr. Beast's productions.
Oh, okay.
And there was one in particular production that he was in for, and he did not get paid for, and it did not go up, and it was essentially him being in solitary confinement forever. No, it was like the Russian sleep experiment, and if you've never heard of that, is where they don't turn off any lights and they don't allow you to sleep for a very long time.
What's the point of this? You know what I'm saying? What
Yeah,
is the point of these like
challenges. He
challenges?
just does challenges, and if I'm remembering correctly, the longer he stayed, the more money he ended up getting. But he had him do some of the most outrageous stuff. And when Jake was ended up talking about his actual experience there, it was some of the most disgusting shit I think I've heard. Anybody who's had money like make him go through that, like Jimmy is an asshole. Mr. Beast is the worst type of
It's
person.
those. It's just like the old tale always of the getting all this money and then you doing sadistic shit.
Exactly
You
that.
know. So
Exactly that. I mean, they said they looked it up, and although we don't know for sure, it allegedly broke like war crime law. You know what I mean?
I
Like
would
Geneva
think
Convention
so.
type shit.
He's gonna have a psychotic break.
Not turning off lights. They had a hot tub that was disconnected completely from any filtration system. So after 3 days, it began to rot and
That's
stink.
gross.
He it was all tile floors, so it was extremely cold and sterile. Uh, there was a broken ice machine that smelled like mildew. But if he cut it on and the ice cream was made, it then was just too loud, so the guy couldn't sleep. Jake went through this for a
No,
number of
no.
days, and the moment where he finally broke, I'll tell you this. It was when he decided to do the challenge. Jimmy approached him with a challenge to run, I believe it was 22.1 miles on a treadmill. That man's feet were bleeding.
Was it bare? Was he barefoot or he had like?
Barefoot.
No.
barefoot
No.
on the treadmill, barefoot, and that man's feet were bleeding, and that's when he called it quits. And Jake ended up saying that at that moment where they called it quits, Mr. or Jimmy had came in and said, "What's wrong with him? Why is he upset? Why is he yelling? We don't want him to in the midst of saying sue."
Hmm.
But he didn't finish the sentence because he
Yeah.
didn't want to give
Give him
Jake
any
the
kind of
idea.
ideas. Yeah, he didn't want to give him. But that's crazy. Like to say I'm going to build houses in Africa
Yeah,
and do all this stuff,
cure
give
these
away.
blind people and
Yeah,
shit.
and then you're doing this nasty stuff behind closed doors because I'm thinking if you upload that stuff, it
Yeah,
people are going to kind of look at you sideways. Like
right.
I don't think he was doing it to say he. I think he really wasn't going to upload it. I think that was for his own
It
personal,
feels like it, doesn't it?
yeah, personal videos because no one's gonna. They're looking at you like the nice guy. So
Hmm.
why would you upload some trash like that
Yeah,
on top of saying you're building houses and
right.
giving money to the homeless? That was never going to happen.
It's a moment in time where we got to step back and realize, like, why are we allowing these types of people to have the amounts of money they do? Why are advertisers advertising with this type of person? Why are we dealing and giving any of our eyes, time, or attention to these types of people? Because this story comes out and it's not over yet. It's
Yeah.
been just a avalanche of more bullshit.
He's been quiet lately because we used to. There was a point where on our feed was always
Mr.
Mr.
Beast and
Beast.
Festivables,
Yeah,
Feastables, and all that bullshit.
they're
Yeah.
gonna have this long documentary. I guarantee you on him.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a
The
surviving
rise
Mr. Beast
and
out there
fall
or some
of
shit.
the Beast.
Yeah, rise and fall of the beast. I like it. I like it.
If y'all want me to help, direct it, I can do that.
But I mean, I I thought it was very compelling to know that one of those greats that most people hold in higher regard is a complete another trash bag,
It's disgusting.
and
We
we're
got
we're finding things out, and it leads credence. I'll finish off with this. It leads goddamn credence to what Cat Williams said earlier this goddamn
he's a
year.
prophet.
He said that this was the year of niggas telling the truth and everybody's story was going to be told. Lies are going to be, uh, what was it? Displayed or
Yeah,
whatever the fuck he said. But, I mean, everybody this entire year has been coming out and getting exposed, and
trash.
it's been trash.
We got Drake getting exposed by having a baby and popping ass with Sexy Red. Mr. Beast. It's a lot of shit.
If we've learned one thing, it's to be scared of Cat Williams.
My friend a prophet, and y'all need to just recognize that he a prophet.
For real.
Amen.
For real.
Well, do you have any last words of wisdom you want to give before we head out for the weekend?
Stay safe this weekend and stay cool.
Now, remember, you guys, we do drop our new episodes every Friday on all streaming platforms, and we're on YouTube at Ideally Though Pod. So, like, subscribe, hit the bell button,
Share them shits.
and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah.